changing the battery on this watch. Pretty simple. You're either going to have a pressure fit where you're going to have to use like a rubber ball, twist that off. You're either going to have notches where you're going to use your watch back tool, or you're possibly going to have a series of screws. There's a few other things you'll see, but this is probably one of the more common. So you take the tool, insert it into the little holes. Try not to scratch your watch. So I'm just trying to get it set to the right size. Then we're just gonna remove our watch back. And we're gonna take a little plastic, well, let's pull our O-ring out so it doesn't get lost. Probably time to replace that. It looks a little stretched. Okay, so we're gonna pop this little plastic piece off. The battery's gonna go here. The battery was previously removed because I needed to know what size battery it was. This one takes a 315 battery. So I just got the exact battery that was in there. So we'll take said battery. Place it in the back of your watch. Make sure it's in and secure. At that point, make sure you're running again. We are. Gonna put it back in our holder. We'll take our plastic insert. Make sure everything is back flush. Feels pretty good. I probably should have gloves on, but I'm not super worried about the internals on this watch. So if this was a nicer watch or a new build, probably would be wearing gloves for all this. So I would definitely recommend wearing gloves so you're not getting your finger oils on everything. All right. Put the O-ring back. Make sure it's seated. Ideally, you would want to have some case back O-ring lubricant. I don't have any in hand right now. Got some on the way. But get your O-ring back in place. Take your watch back. Make sure everything seats nicely. Oh, there we go. Make sure it sits flush and screws on smoothly. You shouldn't have to force any of this. All this is delicate, it doesn't take a ton of pressure. So that's pretty much closed at that point. We're gonna take our tool. Oh. Tighten that case back down. And then we will put our watch pins back. I'm sure y'all don't want to see me struggle through that. So anyway, that's changing the battery. Then you just take your little pin tool. You're going to take your pins, push them in, set them in place. But this is going to be hard for y'all to see since I didn't take this bracelet off. Let me see if I can get this in here. Okay. This one sits kind of funky in this case. It's got this little back L on this clasp to kind of hold it in place. So this is going to be a interesting one to maneuver. I'm gonna try and get it set in place on one side. Had to wrestle that clasp back on there. This thing has to be seated in, and then you have to rotate it, push down, and push in. So that was kind of a pain to do on camera, so I just did it off camera. But you put your strap back on, now your watch is back functional. There you go.